All right. I am excited. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Zoe Flowers here, back with another reading. 3 days in a row. I'm doing kind of good. I did it last night, and now I'm doing it in the daytime. Okay. And I'm super excited about this card. I'm super excited about the card that I pulled today from the Art Tarot. And yes, I'm going to show this guidebook every single time I do the reading so folks will know what I'm reading from. And so today, our woman is Sister Rosetta Tharpe, who is coming in with the sun. So yesterday we had Frida Kahlo. She came in. She came in as the death card. The day before we had Octavia Butler. I think Octavia was she the knight? Oh my goodness, I can't remember, and it's on my altar, so I'm not going to go grab it. But anyway, so we had the death yesterday. So what comes after death? Rebirth. And here is the sun shining on us as we become new, as we are reborn, as we allow ourselves to be reborn on this second day of Taurus season on 420. I hate that I'm not in my city so that I could engage in the 420 festivities. However, I am here drinking my dandelion tea as I am no longer drinking coffee, sweetened with oat milk as I am no longer doing dairy. All right. The sun, however, is shining. It is beautiful. Perhaps I will go for a ride with the top down in my new convertible that I bought as a birthday gift to myself. So, all is not lost, in the words of Coldplay. All right, let me go ahead and rock this out because I have a conflict resolution training to do at 2 o'clock and I can't be late. Okay, so we have Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I don't know anything about Sister Rosetta Tharpe. I love her face, I love her smile. I know who she reminds me of. She reminds me of my friend Sahaya. She reminds me of Sahaya. Okay, so Sister Tharpe was born in 1915. She transitioned in 1973. She is from the United States. Rosetta Newben always loved to sing. Her mother, Katie Bell Newben, encouraged her daughter's talent by performing music with her during worship services at the Church of God in Christ in their hometown, Cotton Plant, Arkansas. Plant that cotton. As an evangelist mother-daughter team, they traveled with a troupe of musicians to various Midwestern and Southern destinations and sing the gospel. Okay, this is interesting because so far every single woman has had some kind of ailment, some kind of something, and it starts off with that. So this is interesting. So right now we're okay. She's 6, she's traveling with her mother, they're doing all the things. Okay. She's 6 years old. She gave her first public performance at Chicago's 40th Street Church of God in Christ. In order to see the little girl with the big voice, congregants raised her atop a piano where she sang and strummed her guitar with a skill that belied her age. Okay, so we're okay. We're still all right. Now we're into her adolescence. During adolescence, Rosetta and her mother toured with Reverend F.W. McGee, a bishop in their denomination who was praised as a faith healer. The Church of God in Christ encouraged musical expression and gave women a voice as preachers and performers. All right, that's pretty uncommon. I'm here for it. Her education was informal and hands-on as a touring, singing, and playing evangelist. I got it. Rosetta learned to captivate audiences and elevate the crowd's energy. The music she played and sang incorporated gospel hymns as well as country and blues stylings found in the 1930s popular music. So let me try to see if I can get her birth chart. I don't know. Let's see. Rosetta. Tharpe. top, top. Cotton plant, Arkansas. Okay. Oh, look at her deep dish dimples. Very cute. Birth chart. Okay. All right. Come on now. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Okay. Oh, March 20th. Okay. All right. So she's an Aries. Her birthday's a few days before my mother's. Hmm. Wait, no. She's a Pisces. March 20th? Does that make her a Pisces? March 20th. Hold on. Wait a minute. Yeah, she's a Pisces. Okay. With a moon in Taurus. Super interesting. This one doesn't give me all of her. Yeah, this doesn't give me all the information I wanted. All right, let me get back into this. Okay, so we know she's a Pisces with a Taurus moon. Oh, that's interesting. So yesterday we did Frida, and Frida also had a Taurus moon. So this is interesting. All right. I was trying to find out what in her chart would give me a clue into how she captivated audiences. And it's probably not a complete chart because they probably didn't have her birth time. So that's why with celebrities, it's kind of challenging because we need that birth time. Okay. So we know that she did country, the blues, okay, but she incorporated that into her gospel hymns. At 19, she met and wed a man she'd met while touring churches, and his name was Thomas Thorpe. Thorpe. And her last name is Tharpe. This is interesting. The couple became a popular musical team at storefront churches. The marriage didn't last. But she kept her husband's name, altering it to create her stage name, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Interesting. In 1938, following the path trod by blues, swing, and jazz musicians of the era, Rosetta moved to New York City. There, she played gigs at Cafe Society downtown, a racially integrated nightclub and musical hotspot, and the Cotton Club on Broadway, which catered only to white clientele while featuring performers of color. In October of that same year, she signed a contract with Decca Records and recorded several tracks, including the song Rock Me, which was musically and lyrically derived from the gospel hymn Hide Me in Thy Bosom. So she transitioned over to secular music. Interesting. Rosetta was in the vanguard, who were breaching the conventions of her own culture by bringing gospel music into a secular sphere. So she is a trendsetter here. She's a trailblazer. Interesting, not unlike a Pisces. That's super interesting. In December 1938, she was included in the lineup of musicians to play a showcase at Carnegie Hall called From Spirituals to Swing. I know that the church had to be, I just want to know, how did the Church of God in Christ feel about Sister Rosetta Tharpe transforming these gospel hymns into swing? Maybe we'll find out. Fellow musician Count Basie remembered her as a smash hit, saying that she excited the cool Carnegie Hall crowd to the point where they were almost shouting in the aisles. Oh my God, I'm so mad I can't see her whole birth chart. Rosetta continued, although Taurus is the sign of the cult leader. So, and she has that Taurus moon, and the moon typically has the final say. So that is very interesting. And then Pisces with the religion piece, right? Because Pisces can be very psychic, can be very religious. Pisces rules the 12th house, and the 12th house sometimes can be thought of as like the house of religion in a way. So I wonder if that Pisces and that Taurus combined gave her that cult-like appeal. Beyonce has a very interesting chart. Beyonce has a placement, a cult leader placement, also in her chart. I can't remember what it is now. I can't remember what specific placement it is, but it is in her chart that she has that kind of appeal where people will get like about her, right? So anyway, Rosetta Continued. Okay, so she signed with Decca Records. She did that through the 40s. Her songs range thematically from deep spiritual to humorously sensual, as evidenced by singles like Precious Lord Hold My Hand and I Want a Tall, Skinny Papa. Me too, Sister Tharpe. In 1951, her trademark ability to delight crowds and subvert religious conventions, fascinating, reached a peak when she staged her own wedding to Russell Morris Ball Stadium. Okay, Sister Tharpe is not a game out here. The event was sponsored by a local record store chain, Nice, Super Music, which advertised the concert with flyers that read, Witness the most elaborate wedding ever staged. Everybody is welcome. Tickets cost $1 to $2.50 depending on the seats. It took place on the 4th of July, or the 4th of July, as some say, and included fellow musicians serving as groomsmen and bridesmaids. I like this lady. Rather than walking down a church aisle, she proceeded from the dugout to a platform erected on the field's second base, playing a guitar while wearing her wedding gown. The couple exchanged vows in front of a crowd of some 20,000 people, according to biographer Gail Wald in an American Quarterly article. The event itself, a fusion of the secular, the stadium concert with a paying audience, and the spiritual, a wedding ceremony, was much like her music, which blended secular blues, swing, country, and jazz styles with religious gospel tunes. The legacy of Rosetta Tharpe's work is enduring as she was an important influence on performers such as Elvis Presley, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Bonnie Raitt, and Eric Clapton. This is crazy that I've never heard of this lady. Her musical crossovers between gospel and secular stylings effectively laid the foundation of rock and roll. Now, this is disgusting that I've never heard of this lady. This is crazy. In a 2019 piece for Afropunk, which Zoe Flowers is in Afropunk from, what was it, 2016, 2017? When I was a part of Black Witch Chronicles, we were featured in Afropunk. Check us out. All right. In a 2019 piece for Afropunk, Wald is quoted by Aaron White. When people would ask Rosetta about her music, she would say, "Oh, these kids and rock and roll. This is just sped up rhythm and blues. I've been doing that forever." We've been doing that. Sister Rosetta Tharpe delighted audiences by bringing the ecstatic quality of gospel music into the secular realm, bringing heaven to earth, which I typically associate with the magician card. So the sun, it makes sense like that she has this sun here. Obviously, I'm sure she went through things in her day, but I don't get the sense from at least this that she had the same heavy things to overcome. I mean, obviously, she had to overcome things being a Black woman in 1915 and passing in, however, in 1973. So she even lived a long ass time. Um, but yeah, it seems like she was pretty charmed. I wish I could see her chart. Natural Haven says, "Wow, me either. Isn't it funny how we don't hear about these women?" Exactly. And I'm like a huge music person. Like I'm like a rock and roll girl. Like I grew up on rock and roll. Um, that's crazy to me. Okay. With her stage presence, dazzling smile, wonderful voice, and masterful guitar playing, she created performances that were at once joyful, whimsical, and spiritual. The sun represents a feeling of extraordinary happiness and vitality. I am happy to see the sun, in this card. Conversely, it can also indicate unrealistic aspirations as one cannot always be happy. Hmm, interesting. The sun's appearance in your reading indicates that good times are ahead. You may feel as if your current troubles will never end, but you also realize that circumstances always change over time, which is what Frida taught us yesterday with the death card. Transition, transformation. These are natural forms of life. Thank you for the thumbs up. I appreciate you. Rest assured that life will bring you positive experiences. This card reminds you to practice gratitude for these blessings that come your way. What makes you happy? How would you like to have fun today? How can you spread positive energy? So I feel like this is very much a confirmation for me because going into 2021, I said that stability at first. I said stability was going to be my key word. I usually like to have a key word for the year. That's going to be my focus for the year. I got that from one of my supervisors back in the day, Sharisa. She would actually paint her keyword on her wall, what her keyword was going to be for the year. She would paint that on her wall. And I love that idea of having a keyword that would take you through the year as a personal thing. So my originally it was going to be stability, and I was like, well, you're already stable. Like you have a Capricorn rising. Like you're not going anywhere. You are going. Hi, Beverly. Um, you are stable. And so then it changed to joy right at the top of the year. Maybe it was in late December. I said, my keyword for 2021 is going to be joy. And last night, as I was making my bed, I was like, am I living up to my keyword of the year? Like, I'm working a lot. Thank God for that. But am I really like joyful? Like every day, even though the sun says, like the sun doesn't set all the time, right? Sometimes there's clouds, sometimes there's rain, the sun doesn't shine all the time, but it is always there, even though we don't always see it. And so now here is Sister Rosetta Tharpe showing up to ask us, how would we like to have fun? You know, for me, this is like, what is the quality of the joy that you're bringing to your life? What is the quality of joy? That to me is what this card is asking. I'm going to pull, because I have 15 minutes, I'm going to do a what do we need to release? Thank you for the thumbs up. And what do we need to call in? And also, I'm trying to find, it's so hard for me. It's probably my Gemini moon and some other things I have in my chart, like a schedule. It's like really hard for me to like every day at 10 o'clock, I'm going to show up because I'm an entrepreneur. So sometimes I have calls, like I have a call at 2 o'clock. Sometimes I have calls at 7 at night. Sometimes I have calls at 10 in the morning, plus caretaking with my mom. It's like, it's just a lot to try to find a set time, but I really want my channel to grow. And so I really have to like find not the balance, the ratio of what's going to work. So folks will know she's live, she's doing readings, because I know that is so important to grow the channel is consistency. All right, so I think, yes, Spirit is saying this is the one. I think I'm going to pull a card in my conflict resolution training too. I have a conflict resolution training at 2 o'clock. Well, a session between two coworkers. And I think I'm going to pull, I had one yesterday too with another organization, 4 of them. And I pulled, and that's when I pulled the Devil card. That's when I pulled that Frida card. So this first card is going to be, what do we need to release? What do we need to release? We have the sun here. I'm a Cap Sun, Gemini rising, and Virgo moon. Amazing. Amazing. How's that Cap Sun working out for you? I love having my Capricorn rising and a Libra sun and a Gemini moon. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay. So we have the sun here. So I asked, what do we need to release? What do we need to release to allow this sun to come through? And even I feel like to allow ourselves to shine brighter. I recently started charging things with the sun. I always work a lot with the moon, but I've started to, hey, Aquarius, Cancer moon, another Capricorn rising, natural heaven. Are you a tarot reader? So yeah, so I started charging things with the sun to bring more light to it. I started doing that just the day before yesterday, I want to say. And so you are, oh my God, okay. So I'm going to go to your page. So what do we need to do to bring the sun out, but also to shine the light on ourselves? I'm also feeling like, what do we need to do to shine the light on parts of ourselves? I got it. Our shadow side, the side that we don't always show, right? What do we need to release that? So what do we need to release so that we can shine brighter? So I have passage here in reverse, right? And so to me, this is my card of our journey because we have the raft and we have this rainbow. And this was in reverse. And so this is to me the card of making peace with your journey. I don't have a page or channel. I have cards and do my own personal tarot and cardomancy. Got it. Okay. All right. So we have to release judging how we got where we are, right? That's what needs to be released. Critiquing our passage. I also feel like with this boat, it's like even like critiquing the house you live in, critiquing your car, critiquing anything that's helped you to get to where you are, judging it harshly. I feel like this is what needs to be released. That's what I'm trying to figure out myself. So glad you're talking about it. What? Tell me which part. And then what needs to be embraced? Abundance. I mean, this is amazing. And even when you look at these colors, this is why I like to pick decks that work with each other now. Oh yes, I'm accepting that right now. I'm learning. I learned so much from other YouTube tarot readers. I also think I'm going to start a TikTok. Maybe we'll see. But I like the way these cards. Look at that. All of the colors are similar. So we have green, obviously, which is abundant. I'm also hearing like watering ourselves, nourishing ourselves. You know, the sun can burn. And sometimes, like this book says, it's interesting. So, one of the things that I learned in my astrology class is the placement of the sun with Mercury. Mercury rules communication, also rules Gemini. So, for me, my sun and my Mercury, the card you just had, the whole reading. This one or this one? Oh, this one. Um, you'll let me know. So when Mercury and the Sun are what's called conjunct, right, in a conjunction, meaning they're so close together. Luckily, my Mercury and my Sun are like 24 degrees apart, so they're not right up on each other, but they are in a conjunction. Sometimes the Sun can burn because it's so close. It burns that Mercury. And lots of people in the population have the Sun and Mercury conjoined. And so you don't see things clearly. You don't see things objectively because the Sun is so close that it blots out everything, right? And so when you think about Mercury ruling communication, right, there is a propensity to, perhaps, I'm speaking for myself, perhaps not seeing things properly, not understanding how things are communicated properly, just not having a sense of being objective because the sun is so bright. It obliterates everything. So, if that's the case, is the sun obliterating how you see yourself? So, yeah, the things you have, things that have gotten you on your journey, but also, are you seeing yourself correctly? Are you seeing yourself as an abundant person? Right? I got another card here that I need to turn over because it fell out. So this fell out with my what do we need to embrace, right? So get rid of the self-critique and embrace abundance so that you can what? Embrace your voice. Use your voice. The whole world is waiting to hear from you. So for you, natural heaven, perhaps there'll come a time when you'll branch out and do tarot publicly, right? Maybe in collaboration with me. That's why I was asking, because I would love to read with another reader. I love when I see people reading together. So, yeah. So, stepping into your abundance, embracing abundance, learning to accept your gifts, such as clairaudience, clairsentience, and the senses, not allowing yourself to fear yourself. Absolutely. Well, that's it. There's your message. Let yourself shine brightly. And perhaps you're not doing that because you don't have a clear view of who you are yet, which you just said you've got to accept it, right? Absolutely. And sometimes we're not just fearful of ourselves, we're also fearful of how other people will view our gifts. I use this background now for all of my like racial equity work. Like I train the army on race. Obviously, I do domestic violence work, and I always and this is I got this about 4 months ago. So I still get a little nervous when I come on to do like these readings and I have all of this in the background. But I'm like, this is me. Like, this is what I do. Like, yeah, I talk about race too. Yeah, I talk about that heavy shit. But guess what? I also have like 50 cards over there and like 10 right here. So it's just accepting parts of ourselves, right? Because once we do that, then we can shine bright. And then, bottom of the deck, our direction becomes clear. And just in case anybody needed any clarification or anybody needed confirmation, here's the sun card again, the strength card, which rules the sign of Leo, which Leo is ruled by what? The sun, right? So again, just letting ourselves be that lion. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go do this other stuff that I do, this other work, and then I definitely want to go for a ride today in my car. I will be back though because I really have to get my Taurus reading out. And I've been going back and forth about doing a pick a card. I haven't done a pick a card in so long. So we'll see. Anyway, yes, how others view you, and I don't know why I got to kick that need. Yeah, I mean, I just think it's just, listen, one of my good friends, my co-teachers, somebody I teach with, says the witch trials were very popular. The witch trials were very successful. And so many of us have memories, cell memories of being persecuted for our beliefs. And for people like me who grew up in the church, like this kind of stuff, like I did a consultation call yesterday for somebody who wants me to do a board retreat, and they live in Texas. And she came on, and the one person who like introduced us, she lives in Texas too. She's like, Zoe, I love your background. Is it real? And the other person, and this could have just been my interpretation, was like, what is that? So especially with like the devil here, like people don't really understand what all that means. So yeah, you just got to come out of the broom closet. You just got to come out of the broom closet, the witch closet, and let the world see who you are. Let your light shine. And that's it. I got to go because I'm going to be late if I don't go right now. So thank you so much for hanging out, and I'll see you next time. And if nobody told you, you are loved and you deserve love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.